I've always been interested in how people manage their time, like how CEOs manage their time, and all the people who are obviously doing well in this area. What they say is that the number one thing everybody needs to be successful in life is focus. And well, for focus, we need to manage our time properly so that we can manage our focus properly. And in this video, I wanted to give a little talk about how I manage my time and the essentials, I guess, to time management. And it might not seem fitting to talk about that out here. This is at Fingal Head in New South Wales, Australia. But it actually is because I had to manage my time so that I would get up at 4:30 a.m. and drive out here to take this video. And let me tell you, it's so worth it. I love being out here. It's one of my favorite places. It's so good. Now, just quickly, I hope my hair's all right. I did brush my hair, but I didn't really have time to do the whole routine. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, first of all, I want to talk about the two systems that you need to manage your time. There can be other systems that you build around these two systems that will help them, but generally you only need these two, and that is a to-do list and a calendar. Now, the reason being, a to-do list helps you organize everything you need to do, whereas a calendar helps you add a time dimension to those things. So you can use a planner, like paper and pen. Like, you can do that if you want. I did that for a bit. I used a bullet journal. You can look that up if you don't know what that is. But at the moment, I use Google Calendar and Todoist. And I mean, I've changed to-do list applications so many times. Only a week ago, I was using Microsoft To Do. But yeah, I've moved back to Todoist. So yeah, I mean, I've always used Google Calendar because it syncs well with everything, and I use Google a lot. But yeah, pick two and you stick with one as long as you can, but you can always change down the track. It doesn't really matter. So if I had to pick one, a calendar or a to-do list, I would actually pick a calendar. And the reason being, I only really seem to get things done on my to-do list if they are in my calendar. That's because then I know when to do them and for how long they're going to take. And I guess I can prepare myself for the next few hours ahead. So yeah, if I had to pick one, I would go with the calendar, but generally the two systems need to work hand in hand. Oh, I just can't get over how awesome this place is. Like, the part that I'm in at the moment is actually closed off. You're not meant to be here. Like, there's the red and orange tape around, but that's because of the nature stuff. So I'm on the pathway. It doesn't make a difference, I don't think. Now see this island here? There you go. So that is Cook Island, and named after the explorer Cook, Captain Cook, James Cook, I think. Yeah, he basically discovered Australia for the English, and you can study from there if you don't already know. Okay, generally I'm not going to be making more videos about productivity systems and all that, but I am quite interested in it, and as you might see if you look at my channel, my earlier videos are all about productivity systems, calendars, to-do lists, how to be more productive, all that sort of stuff. I might throw in a few of those sort of videos every now and then, but I kind of wanted to put this one out there because it is essential to manage your time to get what you want done. I mean, if I didn't manage my time, I wouldn't be able to do this YouTube channel, I wouldn't be able to do uni, I wouldn't really be able to do anything because, well, I just wouldn't do it well. So yeah, if you pick a calendar, if you go with the digital calendar, generally like Google Calendar and Apple Calendar and Microsoft Calendar, you can have multiple different calendars inside of that app. And this is great because then you can separate the calendar into different areas of your life. For example, for me, I've got uni, I've got work, filmmaking, I've got personal, then I've got events when I'm going out. And this kind of helps you color code it and just makes it a bit easier. Okay, next you want to pick a to-do list. And this is not just any to-do list, like it can't just be a list with to-do items. It just doesn't work. You need to be able to separate them into different projects. And that's really important because if you don't separate your tasks into different projects, you're going to have multiple projects all in one space. Now, you can do this in a normal to-do list app if you just, I guess, create a task for a project and then create subtasks. What I do in Todoist is I do sections inside my filmmaking folder to create different filmmaking projects. So for this video, I've got a section and there's a bunch of tasks inside of that. Another app I use is Notion, and I use this to manage all my notes and all that. You can use this as a to-do list, and I have in the past, and it's great, but I just prefer having a separate app for my to-do list that's more to-do list central. So yeah, pick one and go with it just as you would with a calendar. Now, calendars generally are easier to stick with regarding an app because there's not many of them. And you usually just pick your favorite business, favorite company. There's Google, there's Apple, and there's Microsoft. Now, I use Google Calendar, but I like Apple, so I use the Apple Calendar app with my Google Calendar, and it syncs between it. So whichever one you choose, you can use whichever app you want, really. And yeah, then you pick a to-do list. Make sure to stay with the same to-do list app for as long as you can, but you can always change later. It doesn't really matter. There's not really much of a sunrise. It's all hidden behind the clouds, and sometimes that can be good. This morning the clouds are pretty thick though, so. Oh, we got golden. We got golden. Okay, this morning is beautiful. Like, I thought that we weren't going to get a good sunrise. Obviously, I'm not very experienced in sunrises because the clouds were covering the sun, but I could see there was a gap there, but I wasn't thinking in my mind that it would come out and look amazing. I've been awake since 4:30 and it's 6:15 now, so it's been a good morning. I hope that's not too bright. Yeah, but back to time management. It still seems weird that I'm actually talking about time management while I'm out here. This should be something much more meaningful, but time management is pretty important. So there's two things you need, and that's a calendar and to-do list, like I said before. But the other thing that you need to keep doing is to regularly review. And this looks like a daily review where you regularly set your schedule and your tasks for the day, and not just kind of let it go to the wayside, because otherwise the system will fall apart. That's what happened to me multiple times. And then you also need to just like every week or every fortnight or every month review all your tasks that are kind of in your projects, make sure your projects are going well. But yeah, that's basically how I manage my time and how I think CEOs have managed their time, especially time blocking using the calendar. That's one of the key things. But yeah, let's just have a little bit more of a look around, because I feel like I'm wasting my time talking about time management in such a beautiful place.